Reggie, guess what I don't have today?
A useless fact.
I do not have a useless fact of the day.
Thank you.
I do have a useless fact.
Do I got my button set up?
And we're going to start early with the shots firing.
Oh, we're taking shots.
Tanisha. You're fired.
Oh.
And by fire, he means it's 100 and something degrees outside.
You're fired. Okay?
That was still
You miss an episode, you get fired.
That's what we're doing?
That's what she did to me when I missed the episode.
Okay.
True. So guess what? I'm back.
That hurts my
soul. We are back.
That's my only job. That's the only thing I do. I just push those two buttons.
Another weekend. Beautiful. North Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know what I'm saying? Did you say North Las Vegas?
Yes, that's where we are. North. What is good, party people? It's the Killing Tyme Crew, and we are back at it once again. I am Corey. We got Reginald. We got a special guest in the house. Our friend, AK. Yes. Thank you. Did you get the applause?
I heard the applause.
Oh, okay, good. So tell us about yourself. Who are you, AK?
Okay, so I'm a woman. I know my voice a little deep. I don't know who's this. I'm a woman. Let's see. So I'm 39. I'm a mom, a wife. I am the founder of AK's Closet. It's a grassroots organization. Started out with collecting clothes and socks and hygiene products for the houseless population. And it has elevated into now we service parents, foster parents, single parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles who have to take the kids for a little bit with our community baby showers. We are going on our 9th one, I think. We do it twice a year. And basically we provide free diapers, wipes, food, pack and plays, cribs, travel systems. That's the car seat that comes with the stroller, double strollers, as well as a wealth of resources for like breastfeeding, pediatric health, pediatric dentistry, and things like that. And I'm a comedian.
Whoa! What don't you do at this point?
If y'all do that, I swear I will stop right now. It always feels so long-winded.
No, you're fine. No.
Well, hear me out, because this is probably the question I hate answering the most. I really do, because it gets lengthy. But let me just
name it all. We got time. Yeah.
So I don't remember what I told y'all. We them babies. And so I'm a comedian. I'm a comedic writer, comedic actress, a voiceover actress. In my time doing comedy, actually, let me take that back. I'm an award-winning comedian.
There you go.
I've won at least 4 different awards over the country for comedy. And my best accomplishment, although over the years, I've used my comedy to try to help wherever I could. As of recent, I started a series of events called Cause We Care Comedy. And Cause We Care Comedy is essentially a comedy show / lip sync challenge that has a different cause for each show. Now, the difference between my show and what I don't think anyone does it here, but what other comedy shows may do is you don't have to be an organization to be a recipient of a cause. So our very first cause was actually a single mother who lost everything to an apartment fire. So it can be something as simple as your baby can't get on the basketball team because he can't afford a uniform. Like whatever that looks like, we'll raise the money. And if you can't afford a uniform, you probably can't afford a few other things. So essentially it just goes to help. Let's see. I'm also a radio personality, so I have a talk show that I've been a part of since its inception called The Breakdown on Power 88, the People Station. That's celebrating 50 years in this community. I love being a part of that station because I feel like I really get a chance to put the people in the People Station, meaning talking about things that directly affect our community. There's so much focus on presidential elections and what happened with the submarine and the Ukraine and things that are probably almost never going to directly affect us versus all of the things that happen in this city, including resources, especially resources. Let me say that there's so much money, help, funding available, and the people that have it always say they can't find the people that they know statistically shows need it. And then the people who need it are always saying that the government doesn't do anything. And it's like, so I try to be a bridge in between those with different events that I do and make it comfortable for politicians to be there and not be necessarily politicking, but be accessible to the community that they are impacting and the community who they work for, essentially. I don't think a lot of people understand that your elected officials work for you. You are the boss, including especially your superintendent. He is scared of you. He is deathly afraid of you. And you all should know that. Well, most parents don't know that. And it's kind of a lot of intimidation factors go into it. But if you attend school board meetings, then you would understand just how much they more so work for you, but also understanding that that's an entity for sure that needs to be lobbied against. See, now I'm getting off
It's
track.
okay. It's okay.
And let's see. I'm a mom. I have a son. My baby will be 4 in December. He has autism. And my stepson is 11. I serve on the PTO at his school. I volunteer there. And I think that's it, y'all. Okay. I really hope that there's... Oh, no. I do. I have a jewelry line. So I make jewelry and purses and lock jewelry and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure, I hope that's it.
It's okay.
I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yep. Okay. So we got a ritual. I know you don't drink. We asked you that question.
Yeah, that's
you know
cool,
what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We have a ritual. We're going to take our drink of the week. What we got today, Reggie? You want to... You made this.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But, okay. No. So we did the drink of the week. We started posting a video of it. So go back and watch the video. But we did Crown Royal, Peach Schnapps, Malibu rum, and cranberry juice. And then we top it off with a little bit of Sprite. So that's what we have to drink today.
Yep. It's called
ask me what I'm sipping on.
That's what it's called.
What am I drinking?
You know what? There was a guy in my work selling moonshine, and this is what he gave his samples in.
Of the moonshine.
At work? You was drinking moonshine at work?
And
no, I was drinking that later at home.
Oh, okay.
You took the man moonshine in his glass?
No, he gave this. He's like, take this home, have a drink, so we can, and then he puts it in a mason jar.
So although I don't drink, I was a bartender for 9 years.
Yeah.
So my first job when I moved to Vegas, one was at the Ice House, the other was at the Thomas and Mack.
Okay.
So even though I don't drink, I probably would have left the cranberry juice out. I probably would have used pineapple juice instead of cranberry juice.
That's what we was thinking.
Yeah.
But then we just followed the recipe that we seen on TikTok.
Well, you gotta follow the TikTok. Make them follow you. Ooh.
That's actually good.
Yeah, I don't know
if I like this or the Irish Redhead better.
I want my lemonade, and I like the Irish.
The Irish Redhead was better. Yeah, but
it's
this is good.
Cranberry juice.
You know, it might be, but it didn't call for Sprite, and we added Sprite.
Well, I'll be honest. The Sprite is actually a good touch.
Yeah.
But it's countering against that Malibu that you put in there. Like Malibu and Sprite really
don't go. It do not go. Good point. Okay. So how was everyone's weekend? Reginald, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
No, please go first because I have to remember by looking at pictures.
Wow. My weekend consisted of Friday. I didn't do nothing Saturday. I don't think I did anything.
We went to Applebee's Saturday.
Oh, we did. I went and hung out with my best friend for a little bit. That was pretty cool. And then went back home. Yeah, we did go to Applebee's. I pulled up on Corey because he was at a light and scared the shit out of him.
Basically, yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. BJ was like, he's going to shoot us. I was like, he ain't got his gun in the car.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
So then we did that, and then Sunday, yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
I went over your house.
Yeah.
And I proceeded to drink a lot.
Yeah.
And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up and was like, all right, I can go home. Like, you slept it off. And then my niece was like, you shouldn't go home yet.
Yes. Oh, this is after your first nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I woke up, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I can go home. my niece was like, nah, you shouldn't go. And then her boyfriend said it too. And I was like, you know what? I'll teach you. And I went in there and laid down. I was like, I'm going to lay down and show them that I'm going to be ready to go in 30 minutes. And then I woke up and it was midnight. So 1 point to them.
Yeah. You didn't know how twisted you were. And that's okay.
I mean, I went in there and laid down.
You were smart. You listened. You laid down.
Yeah, right. It ain't going to kill me. It ain't like I'm rushing home to do anything.
Right.
And then I had to sneak out of his house. Because, of course, there's no keys anywhere or nothing like that. So
you could have pushed the white button to lock the door.
Snuck out and then went home.
Yeah.
And then been at home all day.
Yeah, man.
In the house.
What did we do? Judah, my son has a girlfriend now.
Oh, he does.
So he's
Are
15.
you going to cry?
How old is he?
15.
Oh, it's time.
Yeah.
You going to cry?
No.
Okay.
Only reason I'll tell you why I'm going to cry later. I'll tell you why. So
they gonna break up.
No, I've been through that one before. Had to, we don't talk about her.
Talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about the light skinned girl who broke my son's heart. We don't talk about that.
Why not?
Because
The same reason they didn't talk about Bruno.
Right. So anyway, me and the wife had plans to go out and hang out Friday, but he was gone from like noon to like 8:30.
Where did he go?
It was her birthday.
Oh, okay.
So went to the parents' house and they went to an escape room. They went to Raising Cane's and back to their house for games and hanging out.
Oh,
and,
okay.
A whole bunch of other kids there. So, they did that. So that was that. Playing chauffeur to kids, so much fun. Can't wait for them to start driving. Saturday, went to Umami on Saturday. Sushi.
Oh, that's where y'all went after Applebee's.
After Applebee's, yeah.
Okay.
Took Judah to his drum lesson.
Yeah.
Which is back on Tuesdays now. Thank God, no more Saturdays.
That's how
did that. Umami is great if you haven't been yet.
I have over there on Durango and
Did you eat sushi, AK?
Hate sushi.
Hate sushi?
I'm one of those.
Okay.
And I watch people enjoy it. I'm like, oh my God. Why?
So they have other things besides sushi, but but it's very, very good. Had a fun at Applebee's for 30 minutes. Usually when my son's in his lessons for those 30 minutes, I go to the bar at Applebee's and chill out, but they pulled up on me and my wife and it was good. It was a good mentorship? Conversation. But just with one of the homies. Yeah, conversation with one of the homies. You just never know what the conversation can lead to and who it can help, which I'm appreciative of those moments of just random conversations where it could help somebody. Which is kind of how we started this podcast off of those random conversations at the bar. Mm-hmm. But anyway, then suddenly we had the Sunday dinner at my house with all the family and friends. Jesus. Well, mostly friends. Yeah. All the friends.
Well, friends are family.
Yeah. These friends are family. Yeah, and
Okay. I'll let it flow.
Yeah.
They cool.
Man. Yeah. Had a new guy, my buddy Xander from work came by. Talking white guy in the house.
Yeah, we scared him. We scared him straight. He was like,
nah, Xander's cool, man.
Give me another shot.
Hey,
Let's
Xander's
go.
cool, man. That's my boy. He good people, man. But yeah, man, that was that. And I really appreciate our Sunday dinners. But I'm going down to once a month. Yeah. Instead of because I know for a while we was doing like every Sunday.
No, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
I know. I'm talking to my wife as she needs to listen.
Oh, she ain't listening to you.
She's not. Definitely not. She's not. Exactly.
Yeah, there'll be people over there this Sunday coming up.
I hope not.
Okay.
I hope not.
Wishing wasn't here and the shit enough.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. So yeah, that was it.
AK, how was your weekend?
I was not trying to be rude.
No, you're fine.
My husband is in a Henderson jail right now.
Oh no. Is he okay?
He's the corrections officer there.
Okay. Leave with that.
No. I'm like, hey, you gotta go.
Yeah,
Do you not think that was intentional? I say it like that all the time. No, he was letting me know that he's arrived at work, but I don't think that he knew that I was already here.
Oh, okay.
So he kept texting.
No,
I'm like, okay, so leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Go and feed those people. And so,
Go feed those people.
So this weekend, it actually was more of a recovery weekend from the prior week. So I had a very busy, especially towards the end of the week, because I was assisting with the Stellar Awards that were here.
Okay.
And so having to do the PSAs they had an art symposium for the youth, and then there was the celebrity basketball game. So I had to write and record PSAs for those. And then I was a part of the master class. They have two different sessions, and our session was about radio, and there were a lot of different artists that were in the room that had questions, but the facilitator had more questions, and it was a really good time. People from all over the world here in Vegas for that great event. And so from there, my husband and I went to go and pick up our copies of The Urban Voice because we're featured on the cover right now. So my husband, in addition to being a corrections officer, a police officer, but he works in the corrections in the Henderson department. He also is the president and founder of Mastering Mindsets Las Vegas, which is a nonprofit youth organization that focuses on STEM and Black kids, as well as supplemental education. They offer free tutoring all throughout the year, and not just for science and math, in particular, reading if it's necessary. And what I love about it is, one, it's not just for Las Vegas youth because they offer it virtually. So there are kids that are on the East Coast that attend the tutoring sessions on the bus on their way to school. And I think that's really cool. And then he also, the tutors, while the tutoring is free, he pays the tutors. So he still has essentially created jobs for these different people. And it's cool because a lot of them were out of work teachers for a while. And then he also, alongside that, he collaborates with me on different events, especially in particular, AK's Closet is not a nonprofit, but he Mastering Mindsets is. And so they actually pay for one of our storages. So the city donated one storage for me, which we outgrew so fast. And I have, an old supervisor of mine. I used to work for Victoria's Secret. One of my supervisors that no longer works there either is my vice president. Okay. Unofficially, until we've actually gone through the process. COVID really pushed a lot of stuff to the side. And I operate so well still without a nonprofit. I get a lot of support. So it's kind of like, there comes a time when I'm always like, oh, I should just go through with it. And then something happens and it's like, okay, well, I have this and I have that and I'll just figure it out. But we ended up outgrowing it. And now Natasha, shout out to her, she has a storage that we actually pay for on the other side of town. So she collects donations from different daycares and preschools, and she stores it, cleans it, sorts it out. Keep in mind, during COVID, we didn't stop doing it. COVID was when people needed it the most. So we created the drive-through community baby showers. So people had to register. They didn't have to register prior to that. They could just show up. Right. But they would register, and we would have volunteers to come in the day before and go through the registration and put all of the items together that person said that they needed, and letting them know, you know, we may not be able to fulfill your entire list, but we're going to try to take the big items off of your list if we can, and whatever else there is, you know, the motto is always to leave without anything. We don't want to take anything with us. There you go. I've always said it's not my stuff, even when it was clothing and shoes. It's not my stuff. It's just the stuff that the community gave to you. And they don't know you. That's it.
I like that. I love it. Okay, so let's get into this, AK.
We're doing an interview?
We from the same place.
What does you mean the same place? Who?
She from the STL and so am I. Well, STL is born. Not raised, but born in the STL for me. You were born and raised.
Born and raised. I moved to Vegas when I was 24.
24. I moved to Vegas when I was 10, but I left St. Louis at 2. Grandma still, well, she's deceased now, but that was home for her. Aunts, uncles, my brother still lives out there. A couple of my brothers still live out there.
Pray for them.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the good thing is a couple of them moved to the outskirts of St. Louis, you know, Winterville and
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
my aunt lives in Newtown. That's a very new resident. It's everywhere.
It followed out there, huh?
It's everywhere.
Okay. Got it. So what made you leave St. Louis?
That
the trouble in St. Louis.
That it is St. Louis.
Well, that was like a big part of it. So it's actually interesting that you would say that, because another one of the messages that I'm currently responding to and actually trying to have him to wait, because I don't want to get more emotional as I talk to him. I had a very good friend. Of course, I experienced, or I experienced a lot of death in my early teens and my early 20s. And in my late 20s, I experienced a very heartbreaking loss. Very, very, well, let me say this. The man that raised me initially passed away. And then right after that, the person that helped me to get through that, he ended up getting shot and killed. And he was a single father of a son of his namesake. And when he passed, his son had to go back to live with his mom, who had a bunch of kids, a bunch of different dads. And I was speaking to Stacy, that's the dad's name, and Lil Stacy is his son. But I was just speaking with his mom and finding out, that he's been asking me for money lately because he's got a drug habit and all of these other different things. He's gotten in trouble for strong arm robbery, and it's just so sad. And I'm trying to build the bridge to where he can feel back comfortable being honest with me.
Right. Okay.
Instead of lying and saying, I need $20 for a hotel room.
Right.
And I say, I only got 14. And you say, oh, I'll take that, baby. That's a crackhead.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
you don't even realize that I was testing you when I said that.
Right.
Because I know how.
Yeah, you know how to, the reaction.
We all know how to move like that.
And you don't, because and you can't outsmart me. And so when Stacy got killed, I was actually back in St. Louis. So I had left and I came back. I initially left because it was already rowdy, but then I also felt like, are we really supposed to work every day and then just go and spend the money at the club and then go and work every day? And it just seems so redundant. I'm like, nobody feels bigger than this.
Yeah.
Right.
Like nobody feels, well, I do.
Right.
And so I left on that accord. I was here for a little bit. I got really homesick. And like things were so different. I didn't even know it was really like a lot of black people that lived here. I was like, they keep showing up to the Ice House, but where do they be? Where are y'all? And I was scared of the West Side. I ain't gonna lie. Like I advocate and I've grown so much from the person that I was when I initially got here, but I did not understand the West Side. Right. I was like, now wait, is that still Vegas? Yeah. And
it's
so
completely different over there.
I went back home, and while I was home, he ended up getting killed. And I couldn't not see him in the city everywhere because I had dated this man on and off since I was in high school. And you see them everywhere. And even like it took so long for me to lose the feeling of needing to call Stacy to tell Stacy that Stacy got killed.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was like that. He was, and I hate to say it, but he really was the only person on the planet that truly understood me. Like, that person, you could say something that other people like, that was so foul, and that person be like, damn right. Like, yes.
Just give you the look and be like,
yes. And so that was very heartbreaking to me. So I ran my ass back to Vegas after that.
Yeah, I'm up out of here.
Actually, I take that back. I ran to Atlanta first. So I lived in Atlanta for about a year or so.
Black Haven.
I couldn't understand what the men were saying.
The Black Mecca.
Yeah, after the fourth dude came up to me, it sounded like Boom Howard, King of the Hill. I was like, sir, I do not know what you're saying.
Oh, man.
I shouldn't be down here. So then I went to Texas. I stayed in Arlington for a little while. And I'm like, so the black people down here don't realize that we're free still.
Yeah.
Like that's, to me,
Texas.
that was the vibe that it gave.
Well, some parts of Texas.
I was like, lift your head up. Like, why are y'all walking like that? That's how it felt to me. So I was like, you know what, guys? I gotta go.
Yeah. Now I gotta shake this.
I gotta go. And so I came back to Vegas and I've been back since.
Okay. Awesome. So we started a comedic journey when?
In 2008, probably about the early part of 2008. Jay Reed and D-Lay had a show at the Ice House. Okay. I was the bartender there. They used to listen to me talking to the customers. You bartender, you supposed to make people laugh, get your money. Mm-hmm. And they thought that it was more than that. And they asked me to get on stage, and I thought that they were just trying to have sex with me. And so I didn't know them. And I was like, this country bumpkin here. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll get up. And they didn't let it go. And long story short, I'm glad they didn't let it go.
Awesome. That's wonderful. That is great. That's funny that it's off of that you found a lane to go in.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So you do a lot of hosting off of this comedic stuff.
Yes.
what do you enjoy most, or is it kind of a both thing? Your stand up or hosting?
That's a good question.
When it comes, it's probably emceeing, hosting, only because a lot of times I feel like who could do it besides me? Like, girl, you could have said something funny right there.
Right.
Okay, it's quiet right now. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, so probably emceeing, but I do thoroughly enjoy. Why did I just tell y'all I didn't do nothing this past weekend?
You're fine. No, go back.
Come on,
we
fine.
do this too.
I did.
It is literally just having a conversation.
I was booked for Jimmy Kimmel's comedy.
That's right.
club
I did see
Saturday.
that.
Yeah, I did great, man. I had a great time.
That's huge.
Great
That's
time.
awesome.
Yeah, but so essentially, yeah, I guess that answers. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. You definitely did. So, how much time did you get at Jimmy Kimmel's?
I did. I think 12 to 15. I think I got lit at 12 to give me the cue. Then I had about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was great.
When you first started doing stand up, was it? I know a lot of time they start young comedians out 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Does it seem forever? As you're up there, like when you first, I'm sure it doesn't now, but when you first started,
it might still now.
It might still.
Actually, it does not. It's never felt like forever.
Really?
No,
Okay.
it goes by so fast. So let me be honest with you. It will feel like forever if you're bombing. Hell yeah, it feels like forever. When you are having a good time and people are squealing and you know for a fact somebody farted in there, like
that's a win.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Like you get. Like, I had a comedian that was mad at me like a month ago. I blocked him because he subbed me on Facebook after this. But I ran his light. I am not that kind of comic that does that. But
what you mean you ran his light?
So when you're given the light, so you get a certain amount of time. Typically, the host tells you if you have 10 minutes. Let's say you have 10 minutes. They'll say, "What do you want me to light you at?" Or they'll come and tell you, "I'm going to light you at 7." That lets you know you have 3 more minutes.
Okay.
About 3 more minutes.
But they could light you while you're beginning a joke or in the middle. So you're meant to continue on. You might even go into another joke. What you shouldn't do is continue on like it's a whole nother set, which I did not do.
Okay.
And I want to be clear that this host was not hosting. They was host lining. So in between each comic, you giving a headlining type of performance,
Yeah.
and then your actual talent, you're essentially robbing them of any other time. Correct. And I'm not going to disrespect any other comedians that were there, but I feel like I personally had a job to do. And when I got up there, and me and the crowd were having a very intimate moment. We were in it.
Okay.
We was good.
Yeah, you was in your lane. You was in your bag.
I kept trying to get out. They keep pulling me back in. But I've done several shows for you. I've saved several shows for you.
Okay.
So why would you take offense to that? I'm not the type of comic like, yeah, I'm killing. So if that was the case, I would always run light.
Right.
And I'm not even being funny about that. But I did. You don't want to typically do that, but most comics, most hosts are like, you making my show look good. You don't run the light if you doing bad.
No, you're bombing, don't run the light. Yeah.
Right, but also understand I'm killing. So that time that you gave me feels like nothing right now.
Right.
It's nothing. Wait, it's already.
Yeah.
Already. And that's a lot of times. That's how the audience knows that I've been given the light. So a lot of times people don't even realize when we got in the light, or we'll do something where they're like, "What was that?" Where we just like, I see you, or I got it, which I did acknowledge him. But whenever I can't help it, and I have to say, "Oh man, already?"
Yeah.
All right, y'all, and they go, "Oh, my babies, they love me."
Yeah. I ain't gonna cut it short just because you gave me a light.
Well,
Seriously.
but I will. I couldn't that night though, because I want them to come back.
We was just in the lane.
I want them to come back. So no, it doesn't feel like forever.
Okay.
I've never bombed.
Oh, that was gonna be my question.
I've never, not even
That's wonderful.
My first time performing, I got a standing ovation.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I've never bombed.
Okay.
I would have never done comedy again. I'm not that resilient, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. My feelings get hurt real easily.
Okay.
I can't take people talking about me. So I would have never done it again. So no, it's never felt like forever. It always feels like that fast.
Okay. Go ahead.
I ain't got nothing now. She done took my bottom question because I was gonna be like, "What's the worst time that you've ever had?" But you said you ain't never had one.
Well, that does. Well, just because I haven't bombed doesn't mean I haven't had a worse time. Like, there are rooms that are set up where you got to fight for your life.
Okay.
And I'll also say this: keep in mind, like, I've performed in Salt Lake City, Utah,
nothing there.
Where the host felt like, no, it was a packed room because it's nothing there. But the host felt like it was funny to bring up some joke about her old mama slave named Mammy, a black lady who used to pull the cotton out of her ass. And like, wait, and what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Like I've had it to where I was hosting at Bally's and their headliner came in late, so I didn't have any credits to read off, but I gave him a great introduction. As I go to hand him the mic, I said, I didn't get any credits for you. I'm sorry about the intro. And he goes, that was a great intro. Proceeds to get on the stage and try to roast me. Homie called me Venus Williams. Now, we all know Venus ain't even got no shape and she not in the face. And you ain't gonna give me the big booty sister? I was pissed. So I got back on when it was my turn.
When he got off, I got back on there.
And keep this in mind. One, you never disrespect the host because I always get the last word.
Yes.
You never disrespect the host. Also, because me and the audience got something.
Yeah. Right.
Whenever a comic has got up here and failed, they know they can count on me.
She bring back the host.
So you got up there and you did that. They did not laugh at that. When I got back on, I was like,
you lit him up.
That's
Lit him up. One of them.
Homie should have left me alone. He should have left me. But the guys that ran that show who were not there then sent me a text message 6 hours later telling me that was inappropriate and I should have let it slide. Boy, you got me so messed up.
Messed up now.
So messed up.
You catch some of these too.
And to this day, I love it when because they run the venues, but they don't necessarily run the shows.
Yeah.
I love it when another comic books me for their shows at their venues, and I slice it up, and they go, "AK, we haven't seen you," and won't.
Yeah.
And won't. Baby,
Right.
I haven't missed not an opportunity. Keep in mind that I've been the only black woman and a couple of black comics in a lot of different arenas, including Zappos. When they opened up their theater, they had an entire comedy festival with 120 comics. I was the only black woman and one of 3 black comics in total that were even on there.
Wow.
That's a lot of pressure to have to prove, and then to not get up there and sample and make my culture look bad. Because let me be honest, I represent y'all hard.
Right.
They got me messed up. I'm not getting up here on no food stamp. You be like, and my baby daddy. And I'm not getting none of that. You're gonna get intellectual comedy that makes you go, well, damn, shut up.
There you go.
That's great. I actually was looking at some old your YouTube channel and found one of your old shorts on there
with the Jewish. When I'm talking to the Jewish guy,
the car. Where if you gotta give people instructions on how to start your car, your shit might be janky.
You know what? I don't even tell that. I don't tell that joke, but that was a part of a joke. Yeah. And the joke that it's a part of, I don't tell it so much. I'm a content creator for OnlyFans. Hear me out. OnlyFans has a non-adult content platform called OFTV. To launch that, they scoured the country's biggest cities for comedians so that they could come out to each city, book a venue, film us. It was beautiful. Pay us good. OnlyFans paid good. Yeah. Paid us, and then took the sets and had them animated and used them as promotions for OFTV. Okay. And so even though you don't have to burn your jokes from that, I still chose to lighten as often as I tell those particular jokes.
Okay. No, that's dope. So, what is your writing process for your jokes? How do you go about this? Is what I'm creating. What's your creation process?
It made me laugh first.
Oh, is it from stuff you see every day?
It made me laugh first.
Okay. So is your jokes come from mostly real life stuff you see?
I'm considered an observation comic.
Oh. And that is what you see. I like that. Okay. Yeah. You got something about comedy real quick, Reggie? Anything?
No, I think I had another question for you, which isn't like comedy basis, more or less. Like you rattled off all those things that you do, that your husband does also. How do you guys make time for yourselves, for each other? Because with everything that from what you rattled off and what you said that he does, it seems like you guys are maybe constantly pulled in directions constantly.
Okay. So it's really interesting. Like it's one of those things where it's kind of like, man, it's just a puzzle that fit together. Okay. So my husband works graveyard, and he works 3 days a week or 4 days a week. So that gives us pretty much Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So he either has 3 days off or 4 days off.
Correct.
That's cool.
And so, and then not to mention that most of the things that we do them together.
Okay.
The only thing that we don't do together is make the jewelry.
Yeah.
That's it. And then people also need their time to themselves. So that's when I go off and I mind my business and he's watching his Jaguar highlights and things like that.
I won't judge him. I won't judge him.
That's
Born in East Jacksonville, baby. I got a country boy. Yeah.
I couldn't stand Jacksonville when I lived there. I'm sorry.
It's his hometown.
Sorry to your dog.
Nah, he's winning something.
You still good. You ain't winning life. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
Just his team. He sucks, but you know what I'm saying?
His football team that he don't play for. Hey, we all got those.
You know what I'm saying? So where did this notion of giving back come from? Because you are huge in giving back and the things you're doing, and it should be applauded for what you're doing.
It is applauded.
The community baby showers. I mean, the AK's closet. The list can go on and on. Like,
yeah, it's there's actually so much that's involved, and there's so much that people don't see. And I always feel like a lot of stuff isn't my testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Like some stuff y'all only know about because I need the community's involvement.
Right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't even know it. That's just for that person that I did that for to know.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to tell you, and
I like that though.
And that happens like when they come to wish you happy birthday, and like that time a few years
I like
ago,
it.
it's like,
because you gotta feel when you're giving back, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand this notion of social media, sometimes promotion, but if you're giving back just to film it, I gave these homeless guys 100 hot dogs. Don't do it.
I had a lot of people that stopped volunteering with me because I wouldn't let them do that. But I explained to them, like, if you were at your lowest point,
would you want somebody out here with a camera in your face?
And then not only that,
thank you.
Do you not feel like that person feels obligated to take part in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I didn't really feel like there was something that had to be said. So I'm like, we could just break up anyway.
Yeah.
But, so, the notion to give back, well, I've always felt that way, like deep inside. But when you're living and like moving from place to place and you're still trying to find your place, you can't really help people when you're still trying to find your footing. And so, honestly, in the time when I started doing this, I still hadn't quite found my footing, but it was kind of like, it was more so like, well, you don't have to find your footing will find you. Mm. So I was living in this nice little hood apartment complex.
Where at? What's the cross streets? Here?
Yeah, here.
Where at? What's the cross
that's the thing. People say, what are the cross streets? But then you just got to keep in mind, just know the area. Okay. So Jones and the 95.
Okay.
And there's that. It used to be the little Mexican grocery store that was there. No, it's like a Harbor Freight something.
It's a tackle store or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's some
Cow Ranch is what it's called.
That is exactly what it is.
La Michoacan is right there, the Mexican stuff.
And this is the thing. I don't have to necessarily tell you the cross streets to prove that I was, in the hood. I can tell you that a man died in my arms. He was killed on top of my car and died in my arms after I had just gotten out of the shower, because it was the hood, trust me.
Oh yeah.
And so so when I stayed there, actually that actually plays a part in it. When the young man got killed, the police and detectives were knocking on the property manager's door, and homie would not come out. The next morning, my man had moved out. He was like, listen,
I gotta go. I'm about to hear.
He was like, this is not my cup of tea. I thought I could smoke my little crack and not be bothered, but y'all are on some other stuff.
Y'all going too far.
She said smoke my little bit of crack.
Listen.
Y'all expect me to do things?
No,
this ain't for me.
So he left, and then they brought in a replacement for him, and it was this sassy black woman, and me and her did not get along when she first got there. I'm like, this lady is mean. She's yelling at my friend saying she parking wrong, but she not parking wrong. And it was just this whole thing. And she found out my door wouldn't close all the way, and I was climbing in and out of my windows. She's like, why wouldn't you tell me that? That is not safe for you. I mean, you are my concern. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's like a mama.
I love her.
And so in that moment, as we talked, she found out I was a comedian. She said she wanted to come and support me. She came to a show. When she came to the show, she was like, I want you to host this event for me. It's for children who are trafficked. And I was like, I don't know anything about doing stuff like that. Like, I've never done something like that. And she was like, I have faith in you. And so we,
That's all you needed to hear.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I ain't no punk. Like, that's how I ended up on stage. I didn't tell y'all, like, them fools, like, I only took it as a dare.
They baited you.
Yeah, I ain't no punk. And so I was like, well, you know what? If she believes in me, yeah, I'll do it. And so in the parking lot of that complex, she had this event, and I hosted it. And I was like, wow, that wasn't so hard. And so a couple of days later, she comes knocking on my apartment door, and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. She's like, put your clothes on. I need you to come over to this church with me and get some food. And I was like, okay. And so she's like, I need you to take your car so we can have enough room. And I'm like, okay. And so I follow her. We go over to this church, New Jerusalem, the old New Jerusalem though. And so we go over there and we load up our vehicles with the food. But there's this line of people that's like wrapped around and around again. And the volunteers are older people. And I'm like, oh my goodness. She said, you want to stay and help? And I was like, yeah. And so from there, we volunteered, we took the food back and we delivered the food, but then we realized we could have like a constant supply of the food. So we took the back of her office and we turned it into a food pantry for the complex.
Look at that.
But then she contacted 3 Square and found out that they had a summer food program, and all that we had to have was a space that could be clean, have enough tables and chairs, account for the students, and have a space for their freezer. So we did. But what we ended up having to do was, she kept telling me that there was a storage room. She's like, we can just take the stuff out of there. We took the stuff out of the storage room. It's basically when people get evicted or they move out and they don't come back and claim their stuff. It was stuff like that. So we had a yard sale. Other comedians donated their stuff and we used that money to buy materials because we found out it was actually a spa room and there was a jacuzzi that was underneath there. So we had to create flooring. We repainted it and we turned it into essentially a little school. So the kids could come in and eat, but they could also hang out. They could get tutoring.
Awesome.
We actually helped them. We taught them Spanish and all types of stuff. So that's where it started.
That's wonderful, man.
That's cool.
That is
There ain't
that's
nothing
amazing.
that you don't do.
I'm telling you, have your kids taken on this with you? I know you bring your kids to a lot of events that you do.
Okay, my stepson is so amazing. One of the main reasons I think that he was one of the only kids that made it, one of the only black kids that made it onto the National Junior Honor Society this year as a 5th grader is because his philanthropic work was recognized really hard. Akeem got referral letters from some really amazing people in the community who were not lying about the things that they said about him. So when there was a young boy who accidentally killed himself trying to do a TikTok challenge or something. He ended up hanging himself in his closet.
Jesus.
His mom did not have life insurance on him, and so I put a fundraiser show together for them. It was basically like kind of like an open mic type of several different types of acts, everything from a poet, singer, a rapper to a minister praying over the family. But my stepson sold the draws off them raffle tickets, baby.
There you go.
And when I tell you, like, homie had his own speech and everything, like he was ready. When we do the pop-up shops, so we would go to different parks and set up clothes and let the homeless community come up and get the clothes. He would make sure he let them know this is where the men's stuff is, this is where the ladies' stuff is, or he would hand out hygiene products. Awesome. He's never afraid to do something. My baby gives the clothes off of his back and off of his feet with no problem. And he actually was in a viral video. Although he was acting, he acted so well because it was so much like him. So he's become known as the kind kid, is what they're calling him. One of the videos was of him refusing to eat the food that his mom bought him because he wanted to give it to a houseless woman. Another one was of him taking his money that he saved that he was supposed to use to buy school shoes for himself. He bought the wrong size, got yelled at by his parents, but it was because the kid Bobby was being bullied at school. Cool. He gave it to him. So he's known as the kind kid.
That's awesome, man. You your kids become what they see.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that he's received awards for kindness, and to listen to the things that the administrators say about him. There was a situation that happened at his school. Let me tell y'all something. When I say I do not play about my stepson, I say stepson. I don't believe in all that bonus mom and all that cool talk. I am his stepmom. I stepped up for him. He stepped into my heart. I am his stepmom. I step up every time he needs me. Do not play about my child. You better ask his school about me. So a situation happened, baby, and sat there.
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
Sat there. So how long? Because I'll wait. And the situation, as the situation is getting rectified, there's a elementary school and there's a middle school that's attached to the same school. He goes to a charter school, and one of the middle school teachers was like, which student are we talking about? And I told her his name. She said, I'm going to have him next year. Oh my God. I'm like, how do you even know him? She's like, he's so amazing. And like,
it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
His third grade teacher intentionally accepted being a fourth grade teacher so that she could continue to be his teacher. He's simply amazing.
There you go. Well, you raising them right.
Right.
Doing my best.
So you said we do this, you do this community baby shower.
Yes, every 6 months. October the 7th is the next one.
October the 7th. Look at both cameras. Is the next one. How did that come?
How did the community baby shower come about? Okay, so I was about 6 months pregnant. We were cleaning out the initial trailer that the city donated to me. The way that I had it organized was women's on the left, men's on the right, and it would start from the items that I put on the streets, and then it would go into like when social workers would call, or if someone would say, I've got somebody that's trying to get a job and things like that. So it kind of went in that age and in that type of order. And then it would be school age, elementary, high school, middle school, and then all the way in the back was baby stuff. Now, everything else was getting depleted and the baby stuff was piling up. And I was like, I wonder why people never ask me for baby stuff. Yeah. I know it's people out there that need it. And as we're moving the stuff, my partner in crime, my closest friend, my favorite person in this city next to my husband, Mr. Alex Bernal, was helping us. Now, keep in mind, y'all, the way that I'm able to do all of this dope stuff that I do now is 110% because of Alex. He always takes my ideas and he's like, yep, let's do it. And this is his job that is on the line. Like, I'm volunteering. This is his job. Yeah. And so I said, what do you think about doing like a community baby shower or something? And he was like, I don't know. He's like, well, shoot, let's do it.
Let's see.
The very first one, 15 people showed up.
Okay.
Almost broke my heart. I was like, but y'all, I know that people need this stuff. So the next time around, I did the marketing a little differently. Why me and my husband showed up, keep in mind, I'm 3 weeks postpartum and I had an emergency C-section. Okay. So I was still raw. Yeah. And for the first time, we had to get a babysitter. We had never we didn't think about this when we had planned it. All that I saw when I was pregnant was all of this need that I felt like we had. And so, then the very next one, the second one I was still pregnant. I apologize. The second one I was still pregnant because we came like back to back with that next one. Yeah. And so when we did it, the line was wrapped around the building. Wow. It was over 300 people that were standing out there.
I love it.
And I'm like,
did you have enough stuff?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't listen, just because only 15 people showed up to the first one. I wasn't taking the chance. I wasn't taking the chance, and I'm glad that I didn't. And so you will see the picture of me all good and pregnant. And that was the last one that we did before we had our baby. And then the next one, I was 3 weeks postpartum. And the line again was wrapped completely around the building. So as we've started this back in 2019, we have serviced over 2,000 families.
Where can people drop off stuff for donations? Do you take donations?
Okay, so right now, if you have cribs, car seats, and strollers, we never turn those items down. Okay. As far as clothes, as well as diapers. We diapers and wipes and things like that, we never turn those things down. But as far as like clothes, we have so many clothes. And we really do have so much stuff. We have a lot of stuff, but it's just because we keep doing it. So we will accept those items if you have strollers and car seats and pack and plays and toys. We can never have too many of those. Diapers. I know a lot lot of people like to sell their diapers, and I'm not here to judge. But if you don't want to do that,
Right.
we will absolutely take them, and everything is free. No one is charged anything. This is operating solely on donations and people volunteering their time.
Now, do you want people to reach out to you, or is there a specific place that they can drop it off at? Or
So
what?
they can drop them off at 1951 Stella Lake Drive. That's actually some new marketing. If y'all
We
run,
know that.
if y'all run a business or
we know something new.
anything, you should. But if you run a business or anything, you got the Urban Chamber of Commerce.
I know them. I know
Good.
Shondell. I know. No, he's just laughing because Tierra's been on here.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so the Urban Chamber of Commerce, well, maybe it's different people listening right now.
Yeah.
So the Urban Chamber of Commerce, as well as some new marketing, are right there, baby. You got your funding and your marketing all
Yep.
in the same place.
Yep.
Please, while you dropping your stuff out, handle some business while you in
Right.
there. So 1951 Stella Lake Drive is right in the one parking lot over from Grits Cafe, and then I think it's Sweet J, but you'll see the some new marketing wrapping all over the windows and things like that. So you can go there. That's Monday through Friday from 10 to 4, or you can donate at 3200 Ferndale Street. That's Parkdale. That's where we actually have the events. Actually, pretty much all of my community events are there. And that is from, let's say, from 10 to 3 there.
I like the let's say.
Well, because I try to be so mindful of their staff. Y'all, their staff is so dope to me. They do the decorations for us. They set up the room and make it to where everything is cohesive and we have a strategy. So I never want to burden them with that. But I also want to say that we have the back to school shower. So that
I was
is
just about to ask if you had anything coming up.
Yes, that is August the 6th. So if you have your kids' clothes, especially if you have high school students, or if you or your man or children's size, I'm not shading because I can still shop in Justice for Kids. So I'm not shading. I'm just saying
If you are your man's is that size.
Hey,
I might have some stuff. I might have some stuff in my closet I need to go through.
I need big boy stuff too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because my big babies especially, oh my gosh, they almost always left out. So you guys keep in mind that one, parents come to the back to school events and they're usually able to get something for the first week or the first couple of weeks of school. And usually it's only a couple of new outfits. They might not have underwear. They might not have socks. They might not have enough clothes to rotate.
Yeah.
So what I'm asking is those clothes that your children simply don't fit anymore. They're still good condition. You don't want to take them to Goodwill because Goodwill will sell them. I don't sell anything. I actually go in my own pocket at times.
Yeah.
I don't sell anything. So if you have elementary, middle school, but especially high school, I would love to be able to have shoes and clothes for high school students. I feel so bad in my time being here and doing back to school events, hosting them for other organizations, and then still having mine because, they're not all in the same day. So this is a busy season for me. I MC for other people, but then I also have mine that I put on. And each year I usually focus on something different. So one year was back to school college edition, where we had all of these different gift cards that we gave to college students. So they would have like kind of a head start. And then it was back to school teachers edition, where we had different supplies that teachers needed to be able to give our students the best chance at science projects and just having papers and pencils and things like that.
we know the school district ain't helping.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all better show up to these school board meetings and leave me out of that. I just try to make sure that our babies are taken care of. I don't have nothing to do with none of the rest of that. I just have to make sure that our kids are okay. So I'm asking that if you have those items, that those are the items especially that you choose to donate. These high school students show up to these back to school fairs and they leave with nothing. What is baby going to do with the Pokemon backpack?
Right.
What is he going to do?
Are y'all
with
taking
it?
backpacks?
Well, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And what I just heard is she taking anything that you gonna bring up.
I want to
there.
make sure.
Well, keep this in mind. Anything that your children need, anything that your children
other
have
kids need.
outgrown, but you say, "Man, this is nice. Where would I put it? Who would I give it to? Give it to me. I'll take it." You know,
because we've definitely had this conversation about setting up something from the pod, like to give back. So we'll definitely be in touch about, making sure we donate.
Well,
and
keep in mind,
everything.
you guys can come and you can set up there and
It
go.
ain't gonna be a video camera there. We don't do it for the lights.
Well, no, what I mean is you can still have your camera there and you can be facing in a certain area where you can it's not about saying,
Yeah.
hey, look, we here. It's about saying, hey, there's an opportunity for you to get involved, and this is what it looks like. And what I love about the community baby shower is because it's actually meant to feel like a baby shower.
Wow.
So we have decorations and food and
Games
stuff like
and
that.
stuff like that?
Correct.
I love
So
it.
so everybody that's there, they actually are willing to get into a
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
It's more fun. It's not like, oh, this is a low moment
got
for
you.
you.
We get
It's
you.
a party.
Yeah.
It's a good time. So you are more than welcome to come. They love it a lot of times because they feel like, ooh, I would have never got a chance to even talk to somebody about this. And they also feel like that's their way of giving their testimony.
Okay.
You also will get a chance to see the moms that initially started coming when they were pregnant, and now their babies are big and they come and volunteer. So.
Yeah. Okay. No. Got my mind running. I like it.
Also, when you all talk to people about it, please, please, please do not say she helps single mothers.
Oh, no.
That there are single fathers out there, and they come and they are out there going hard to get their baby some stuff. You have grandparents. Foster parents take precedence. When foster parents come in, they sit down, they get a volunteer. The volunteer is told what they need. And the volunteer goes around and picks up all of the items that they need, brings it over to them.
Okay. Pick that up real quick and show that off.
My purse?
Yes.
Sure.
Who made this?
I made this.
You made this.
Yes.
What is the jewelry line?
Oh, you
And
mean
the purse line.
They're all on my website, The Treasure Box by AK.
Okay. So where did this come from? Like, I'm so interested because you're a person of many talents, and it's amazing. Your purses, your jewelry line, the hosting, the giving back, all this.
Thank you.
So where did that come from?
It started, this in particular, or the jewelry line?
Well, let's go with the purse first.
The purse. So the purse came from, my cousin gave me an old clutch that belonged to my other cousin. And I thought that my cousin was coming in town, and I didn't want her to ask for her purse back because I liked the way that it was shaped.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily the print was cute, but I liked the way that it was shaped. And I was like, if I did something to it, she probably wouldn't even notice it. And so I took some different fabrics that I had that is called Ankara fabric. And so it's basically different African patterns.
Right.
And so I took a couple of like old scarves and dashikis that I had, and I cut them up and I glued them onto there. And I was like, actually, this is kind of cute. And so I loved it, and I carried it out one time. And these women were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like, it's just the prototype. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And that is probably like 2 days later, I had another event that I was hosting, Gene Collins' 80th birthday. And I had the clutch, and Asha Jones and the Honorable Judge Belinda T. Harris both came up to me, tried to snatch my purse up off me. And Asha wouldn't let it go. And so I made Asha one, but she's like, no, I want to buy Belinda one for her birthday as well. And so I made them each one, and then people were sending me videos of Christina Boone trying to take Belinda T. Harris's purse from her, and other women kept going, can I get the purse that Asha has? Now, the thing about my line is everything is one of a kind. My motto is I make one of a kind pieces for one of a kind people. That means if you see somebody with something, I can make you something similar, but I will not
replicate.
I will not replicate it. I will not do that. While you might be okay with wearing something that someone else has on, there are a lot of people that like to be considered exclusive. Yeah. And so while it may have an AK's flair to it, it will never be the exact same one unless you custom ordered two pieces that you
finna share with somebody else.
Correct, from inception.
Yeah.
So you gave me that idea that this is what you wanted, and you wanted me to make several of that.
Right.
That's different. But you can't say, I saw Tamika Henry's necklace and I want that.
I want that same one.
Baby, Tamika Henry will fry me in catfish oil. Nope. And so Asha and Belinda T, they are the only two with the circular bags, and people keep asking me for them, and the answer is no. No. But you can order the ones that are on my website.
And do you have stuff ready to go, or is it like when an order comes in, you create right there?
So if it's a custom order, I create that for you. Other than that, wait for me to upload. If you don't see something there, everything does sell out. People get on my head about that. Stuff sells out pretty fast.
Better be fast.
But I am going to be uploading some new purses. I am completing a backpack that is so cute. I want to keep it so bad, but I'm not going to. It's a little backpack purse. And then there's another like large purse that I want to complete because I like to release everything all at the same time. Otherwise, my inbox will start going crazy.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay, awesome. And a couple more things, and we're gonna move on to our topics of the day. The Soulful Young.
Yeah.
Did you meet your mark?
Did we accomplish our goal?
Yes.
Keith Lee did show up to Soulful Young.
Awesome. Awesome.
He absolutely did.
Did he really?
Yes, he really did. Artisha called my husband because I changed my number and I gave her my new number, but I was just making sure my baby didn't message me. But she called my husband, and he comes into my little lab where I do my work, and he's like, "You got a phone call, and it's Tisha's like 7:30 at night," and she's like, "AK, I love you." And I'm like, "I love you too." And she's like, "Girl, he just left."
When is the review coming out?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I did my job. I did what I told her that I would do.
Keep on reaching out and try your best to get him there.
When she told me, she just simply, said, "AK, I need to get Keith Lee here." And I said, "Well, why don't you have your customers to flood him?"
Right.
And she's like, "Okay, I'll do that." And I was like, "Nope, we ain't gonna do it like that."
Yeah.
And so I told her to contact a specific friend of ours and to ask him if he would create a flyer and say, I told her the date, like, let's do it for this week and let's like make this man be like, where in the heck did these people come from? And then I called her back and I was like, Operation Keith Lee. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
And that way, in the hashtag, like when people are searching him, they'll see him though, no matter what. Even if it's not Operation Keith Lee, if you search his name, hopefully that one will come up. And so, and so we opened up our home. A lot of people don't know this, but sometimes a conversation may call for it. It's just not something that we talk about. But we opened up our home to some homeless teens that have lived with us for a little while. And one of them, as she's finding her path in life, she's developed this talent on social media. And if I had to guess, I would honestly say that it was probably her doing.
She got a hold of him.
I would probably because
she's a good marketer on there.
She's got a hold of him before, and
tell her we need it. I want to sit down with him.
With Keith Lee?
We tried to hit him up before.
Well, this is to get in touch with him.
No, because I wanted, like, as soon as he blew up, I was like,
to get him here.
To get him here, sit down.
I will definitely talk to her about it. But she reached out to him. He was supposed to come to the last baby shower. I forget what big event came up, and he was invited to it. But he did. He messaged back to her, and I didn't believe her. I'm like, girl, you are lying, because I'm a huge fan. Yeah. And she sent the screenshot, and she was like, I wouldn't lie to you. But then she came and she knocked on my bedroom door. She was like, no, I need to see your face. And like he did agree to come. He said, if I'm in town, I absolutely would. It sounds like a cool event. Yeah. And so if I had to guess, I would say that it was my little baby angel who's just. She's cool. So amazing.
That's what's up, man. That is what's up, man. So my last question for you, and back to your comedy stuff. Do you find it hard being a female comedian in this game?
That Slurpee ain't make it. I just want you to know. You drinking pure sugar now.
See, it was sugar still. That was just icy sugar. So, Yes, it is. I mean, it's difficult being a woman in any male-dominated field, but you have to earn your respect. You have to, in a lot of cases, bless you, even demand your respect.
Got another one.
It's all right. You only get the one. Bless you, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You only get one.
Baby, put it in Tupperware. Put it in Tupperware. Make it last forever. So. It's tough because female comedians don't have the best reputation of being funny. It's kind of like female rappers, you know. And so each time you get on stage, keep in mind it's always a room full of strangers. It might be a couple of people you know, but the majority of them are strangers.
Right.
And they don't know you. And they are judging you from the very moment that the host starts to go, she is like,
Yeah.
And then you come up and you're easy on the eyes. That's not supposed to be the combination. Nope. Ain't no way. And so you spend probably your first 2 or 3 jokes making them trust you. It's like, that wasn't a fluke. You didn't laugh on accident. That was on purpose. So was that one. That one too. Wait for it. Oh, dang, got you again.
Right.
Let's just do it now. Let's just say you trust me.
Yeah, we here now.
Oh, and you're going nowhere. I've got you in my grasp. But it's also difficult because I used to do like the average comic does and record my sets, whether it be audio or video. I never video myself. I will audio record though, because when you have certain rooms, you want to remember how you control that room.
Okay.
And it's also different parts and jokes that I didn't write that came, but I gotta say that again. But I forgot that I said it or what it was. And there have been times, not once, but this time in particular, that really got me. I was sitting at a tabletop at City Lights, getting ready to go on stage, and I pressed audio record, put my phone down, and I went onto the stage, did my set, had an amazing set, got off the stage, picked my phone up, enjoyed the rest of the night. Got home to go and listen to the recording, and I could hear the 2 men that were sitting on the other side of the table. This is the part that got me, is because they were laughing. Like that man said, oh, man, she funny to the book. And and the dude next to her was like, man, you dang on right, man. But she funny though. And I was like, funny. Dang, I gotta find solace in the fact that they still laugh.
Yeah,
like,
But
that is in fact why I always keep it on me. Stay on me.
Give Reggie. Give her a gunshot.
Give her a gunshot for that.
Yeah,
one.
pew pew, baby. Keep it on me.
Pew.
See, that's what she keep on.
I mean,
on me.
We walking around these Vegas streets. If you don't have a gun on you, you want to wrestle with people at 39. I don't.
I don't got one meg knee left. It's on me.
Exactly.
And so, but that was, and I've also had I've had men come in my inbox after shows and say some of the strangest things. I've had men come to different shows and it's like, yep, it's me again. And I was like, okay, making sure I get home every night, Diamond.
Right.
All right. I
that's
see
weird.
you though.
That's weird over behavior.
Pew pew.
That's just weird.
And I had to tell him, like, you seem like the type that sniff a woman's seat when she get out the car. Like
Probably so.
That's on you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is difficult, but it's so much fun.
Right.
It's so much fun to have a guy trying to spit just the weirdest game at you at the bar, and then the host calls you up and you like, all right, sip, gotta go. And he's like, wait. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
About to talk about your ass.
Bye, buddy. You remember you and your baby mama stay together, but y'all not together. Yeah.
About to use that one.
We're about to relive that.
Always hurts when I get up and leave.
Yeah, we're about to relive it. We're about to relive it.
Oh man, that's
Hold
funny.
on, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, that's funny.
It's gonna hurt.
All right, real quick. Anything for us, real quick? Any questions before Reggie gets into his question that he has for everybody?
I got a question.
Anything for us?
No,
Okay.
because it's 7:18.
Okay. So you're on the Killing Tyme podcast. What do we always do first? Killing. So is there a fictional death that you would take back and a real death? Is it fictional, real?
Yeah.
And then
Fictional, real death.
Your question
Fictional?
already.
No.
Opie, I'm still not over that. I don't
Opie.
forgive. It
what?
is too soon to even talk about it. If y'all don't watch Sons of Anarchy, I not forgive.
Hey.
I do not forgive. I do not forgive. I will not forgive. You can never be forgiven.
That was hard. When Opie died, and the way Opie died.
That was a good one.
Oh God.
Do I only really get one? Because it's
Go ahead.
I mean, you want to rattle it off?
not over what happened to Wallace in that bando. I'm not over what happened to him. Y'all did not have to do that. Y'all was supposed to be his friends. You made my baby pee on himself.
When he pissed on himself, yeah. Come on, man.
Baby.
Come on, man.
Baby.
Yeah.
Opie and Wallace, neck and neck, baby.
Okay.
Y'all are not forgiven. There's no coming back.
Real life person that you would take back death, if you could.
That I would have to beg for two as well.
Okay, come on, give me
I'd have
two.
to beg for two.
Is one of them Stacy?
I wish that I could, but you only giving me two.
All right,
okay.
So two.
So I would definitely wish for my brothers to have their dad back.
Okay.
I would wish for him to be able to experience being a grandfather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish that he could see how much my baby loves fire trucks. He was the first Black battalion chief in St. Louis, in U City to be specific. I know that my brothers, the guilt that they experienced because their relationships weren't with him, weren't what they should have been. My oldest brother, embarrassing him like that by having those stolen goods in the house and having the police come into the house and take him up out of there in front of his dad, who's Black history.
Yeah.
And my baby brother, who was at odds with him at the time that he passed and probably never got a chance to really say what he wanted to say because he was so young.
Okay.
And then the other person would be my son's godfather. So my son's name, his first name is Akil Kwali, which means wise truth. His middle name is Verley. His middle name is Franklin G. Verley's last name. Franklin, if you want to know about Franklin is inducted into Legacy Park. So that's one. Franklin started the Breakdown. It's because of him that we have that show. He started Like It Is Radio. He's responsible for Men Who Cook, which is the fundraiser for my husband's organization. Every year, different businesses and organizations come together, cook their favorite dishes, and the community comes in and eats them type of style. Great performances, but that was Franklin's gift to my husband because he believed in the work that they do so much. There are things that happen in our community, especially politically, that Franklin knew so much about. His wisdom is so needed. There are things that happen even in my personal life and in our relationship where I'm like, if Frank was here, like he had the answers. Yeah. He had the answers. Franklin had the answers. I mean, his nickname was Frank Adamus.
Okay.
He predicted that Donald Trump would win.
Yeah.
And they tried to crucify him for saying that, but it was true and it happened. It wasn't that he wished it.
He
was explaining to y'all.
He seen foresight.
He said y'all Negroes are not active enough.
Yeah.
You're not, and you're not gonna be able to pull this one off. And he kept trying to say it. And so he was very close to me and my husband individually. And so it was very difficult for us when he was transitioning into passing away. So he had a car accident and he was rushed to the emergency room. He was still alert and things like that. He had to go into emergency surgery the next morning. I told him that he would be fine. I said, you'll be fine. You have to have it done. And in that moment, that's when I realized he was paralyzed from the neck down because the entire time I had been holding his hands. Mm-hmm. And when he started saying that he was scared, then I stroked his face. And he said, thank you for touching me. That feels so like home. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been holding your hand this whole time. And then he had to have the surgery. And while he was under for the surgery, he had strokes that we did not know that he had. Yeah. And so when he came out of it, I kept questioning, so why ain't my friend back? Yeah. And mind you, I was pregnant. This all happened the day before our gender reveal, which was supposed to be in their backyard. We were going to cancel it. And he said, absolutely not. Set his grass on fire. But when we found out we were having a boy, I kept pressuring my husband. I really want to come up with a name because I know that we're going to give him Franklin's name somewhere in there. Frank has other children that are named after him. He doesn't have any kids of his own. Mm-hmm. But there are children who are named Frankie and Franklin after him, but no one has his last name. He didn't have any children. And so we wanted to be able to give that gift to him.
That was your honor to him.
So he was alert enough to cry when we told him that we were having a boy and what his name was, but He was never the same. He was never going to be the same.
Yeah.
And so when his wife made the difficult decision to take him off of life support, he did not last 2 hours.
Damn.
And the day that he went in for the surgery, we went to receive his award for being inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame on his behalf. And the day that he passed away, the Breakdown received our very first award from the African Chamber of Commerce.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
And so he went in with one and he left out with one. Yep.
Okay.
So, okay, and in time, would you go back in time, stay present in time, or go forward in time?
You mean everything would stay exactly like
No,
it is
you got
now?
butterfly effect. You got the butterfly effect. You go back in time.
No, when you say things stay exactly like they are, do you mean like
Present?
like every day is Groundhog Day?
No. Present is you like where you're at right now. So you want to keep on going. Now you can go in the future.
Things might change though.
I don't know what's going to happen up there. Or you can go back in time and then you could change some things that.
Oh, I could go back and change things?
But then you got the butterfly effect. You don't know what the wrinkles is going to fall out.
Yeah, if you go back in time and change things, you don't know what 10 years later it's going to change up.
Yeah. You go back and give yourself the winning lottery ticket. And now you ain't doing none of this giveaway stuff.
I don't think that's true. If I won a lottery, I would have my orphanage.
I'm gonna say you just go, but yeah.
Which
you just
one?
don't
Which
know.
one? You going back in time, staying present, or going in the future?
You know, I think the reason that back in time calls you is because of the people that you lost. It's really, really hard to get over not wanting your dad to hug you again, not wanting to smell a certain person, you mean like I could go back and I could hear Rachel's voice again? Like her laugh was so infectious. Like, you don't know. But I would still probably have to stay exactly where I am.
I know that's right.
I know that.
I like that.
I think most guests say right here. Where they are.
Right here. Yeah.
You know, my children are healthy and happy. My son has autism, so he has delays, but the progress that he's made in the therapy that he's been receiving. So we got him into early intervention when we first even had the inclination. After he got tested, he continued with early intervention. Once he was 3, we finally came up on a list for ABA therapy, and then he's been there. He'll be going back to speech therapy now since ABA therapy has helped so much with him being able to follow instructions and to sit and things like that. And I'm so proud of him. Like the different, like depending on what level on the spectrum your child is on, like people don't realize like stuff that comes normally for your children, we have to work at that. Something as simple as making eye contact. We have to work at that.
Right.
Our babies are more expensive. Like you can go and get a regular pair of shoes for your baby, but I got to get the ones that promote him not walking on his tippy toes. Like it's a lot different. He has sensory issues, so I can't just have him here and have that there. And but that, you know, with my stepson, I try my very, very best to fill this void that he has, because, you know, we talk about deadbeat dad so much. I don't get up and I don't bash his mom and things like that, but, you know, just know that
it works both ways.
It works both ways, and it took a whole lot of stepping in and stepping up, you know. But even with that though, you know, I still would stay where we are. We're at a place now, you know, I always encourage him to love his mom, but I also have to teach him boundaries too, you know. And it's a difficult road to walk, because the last thing that you want to do is to be responsible for a child growing up with unnecessary trauma or hatred for someone that they come from or who looks like them. I've done my best to promote a relationship with them. I've bent over backwards creating different events and things.
Where they
Google call, because you know
But that's what comes with being a good parent.
Yes,
but I and true, I say that to say though, I would still say,
100%.
I would still stay where I am.
Okay.
All right. That's it for the interview section of things.
So I got one topic I want to get into real quick. It's a 2-part topic. We get it out of here. And it has about being a good parent. So it's a perfect
I wouldn't know nothing about this.
It's a perfect segue, but that's why it's a 2-part question. It's a perfect segue. So this came from seeing my son's frustration at me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting now.
Yeah. It comes from, so something happened in the house and I made a decision. It was something very simple, actually. I'll explain on the will. I know my son doesn't like certain things in his food, right? So I had some chicken and I had peppers and onions. But for his, I just didn't put the peppers and onions, put his to the side. Now, when I put the food up, I mixed everything up together.
So when he wanted to have some more, you didn't have his some more. Why did you do that?
I was just trying to clean the kitchen up, right?
You were trying to do it quick.
So look, he came and I saw his face. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing. I said, no. He explained to me what's going on. Talk to me, explain your frustration. And he's like, well, I just don't understand why you did it that way. And boom, boom, boom. I said, you know what? You're right. I said, you feel better? Yes. I said, okay, don't ever hold nothing in. Come to me, talk to me, be respectful about what's wrong.
We can figure it out.
And we can figure it out together and see what's going on. Because I don't want him going to be an adult and not knowing how to express himself when he's frustrated with people. So my question is, as parents, how and should we give our children the space to express their frustrations when we as parents do things that they don't think is fair or things that they don't like?
Oh, okay. That's a general question.
Because you don't have to be a parent to say that, because what people fail to realize is you were a child. You're somebody's child and you know how you want to be talked to. So for my husband and I, the way that we operate, I keep saying my stepson because my baby, like...
He yours.
He's not. The baby ain't.
Yeah, he over in his own little land, you know. But he does have his boundaries. But with my stepson, whenever, I won't even just say with my stepson, because we have the other children there too, and they get this exact same treatment. So if there's an issue on our end, we'll express, you know, we'll ask questions to make sure, like, I'm not tripping, right? Okay, so then this is what has been going on. And at the end of it, we always go, do you feel any way? Like, do you feel like I'm wrong? Or, you know, is
there some more explaining that needs to be done?
And do you appreciate the way that I talk to you? Like, do you feel like my tone is making you feel comfortable enough to talk back to me right now? And I appreciate it. Now, with the ones that are not biologically ours, it is difficult, because they haven't had their freedom before.
Right.
And they take L's that don't be theirs to take. It's kind of heartbreaking, but we'll get there. We'll get there to where they speak up for themselves and understand I can't always be there to protect you. You'll have to do it yourself. Well, my stepson, this is what he's pretty much been raised in the majority of his life. And so he gonna take his opportunity to show.
Snap back.
But he's so sweet, and he's an overthinker as well. And so he does a lot of times need to express himself. What we never want is for him to be confused about his emotions or his communication.
Right.
And those are some things that we experience all the time, especially with Black people, because we've always been told to be seen, not heard, not to have an opinion, don't talk back. Right. A question is talking back. That is absolutely not how we operate. And I know that a lot of people still try to operate that way, but that's because they're raising rude kids. You're taking away your children's voice because you've raised them to be rude. So they coming up to you, and I don't understand why and all that, and you feel disrespected.
Right.
But that their reflection of you, and you got to check yourself. And so I love my stepson because he's a reflection of me, and I love what I see. He's such a good person. He's a great communicator. I love it. I love it when my boy feel wrong. My boy be like, "Hey, we got to take this to trial, please."
Can we talk? I would say that my mother raised us to have that. We had that open space to talk to her. Now, like she said, there you can get overly aggressive or overly you can get be in your feelings and cop your attitude or whatever. But that's when you've taken it too far. So you have to learn how to talk and communicate in a proper manner. Like I can tell my mom, I don't agree with something.
Right.
And we can, even at this age, we can go back and forth. And then 5 minutes later, what you want for dinner.
But do you feel like your mom communicated effectively with you all growing up?
Yes.
Well, that's what it is.
That's a blessing.
You're a reflection of her, and she loves what she sees when she looks at you.
Now, a lot of women hate it because they're not used to running across somebody that can communicate and then be like,
they ready to call you sassy.
I know you're mad at me, but I still gotta feed you.
Yeah.
So let's go get something to eat.
It's man, boy. That
Be
line
like,
right
nah.
there.
Yeah.
Me and my wife was at it a couple of days ago. I'm gonna get back to the story.
Yeah.
And I came in there and I said, "Do you want something?" And she said, "Oh, you like me right now?" I said, "No, but I love you. Do you want something to eat?" That's a whole different topic for another day.
We're gonna eat.
Hey,
It really
hey,
is.
look,
We gonna
because-
eat. We gonna
hey,
eat.
look.
Don't get me started. That man sent a text
So-
message. I'm upstairs. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
But look,
Exactly.
I didn't have that safe space growing up with my dad. My dad was a single father.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Eddie Coco.
Eddie Coco didn't play. Okay, it was I said this and this is what we doing.
Absolutely.
Don't ask no questions. This is what we doing. Now, when my dad got married to my stepmother, she came in and changed the game.
She softened him up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Look, you can't just keep this grip on this boy. You gotta give him the freedom to roam, give him the freedom to make his mistakes, and give him the freedom to talk and learn."
That's the balance.
Yes, that is the balance, and I am the man that I am today because of that balance that she created. You took my other two-part question, Reggie, saying that you had the safe space to express your feelings and whatnot. But I just think it's very important as parents we give our children safe space. Parenting ain't perfect. There's no book that you can read that's going to tell you how to be a parent, and you can't raise one kid like you're raising the second kid.
Absolutely.
Boy.
And also, can we get out of this space where we make it not okay for black boys to cry and show
Man,
emotion?
boy.
Oh, no.
Let me tell y'all.
Come on.
Listen, I will bring that baby into these bosoms and come
Man.
on and get that up off
Yeah,
you,
look.
sweetie. Get it up off you.
My son too, because I'm a crybaby. I'll tell you right now.
A good cry will
Boy.
release so much other
Well,
things that you have to.
Releasing that, but it also brings the level of acceptance in
Yeah,
your family.
boy.
They had a emergency lockdown at my stepson's school, and my baby, like he isn't exposed to like a bunch of violent movies and stuff. He played Fortnite. That's as gutter as he gets. And everything else is too much. And he was scared to ask if he was allowed to have it. We offered Fortnite to him.
Yeah.
But they had the hard lockdown, and his classmates, and I'm sure that they parents are letting them. They got TikToks and all that. My stepson don't know who Nicki Minaj is or
right.
none of that. He just found out who Beyonce was.
Yeah.
He's in his own little world, but he's very cautious and he's very like logical and adult like when it comes to being responsible. So when they started telling him that they had to have the lockdown, he started following procedure the other kids were playing, and they also weren't telling them exactly what was going on, and so they wouldn't let them call their parents, and it made him nervous. So we didn't even know. So when I picked him up from school, he got in the truck and he's like,
whoa, y'all didn't know? Oh, hell nah.
he got in the truck and
She told you she pulls up to the scene. Can you imagine her out there outside of this school?
Boy,
it'd be some smoke in the
I
city.
got blickies too. Who is he?
Yeah, don't call me.
He's not the only one
Don't
with one.
call
Where
me.
is he at? Because I need my kid out of
Yeah.
there. But as we're driving driving home, and he's telling me, he's like, "Man, that was some day," and I was like, "Well, you never said that before. What's going on?" And he's telling me what happened, but I'm listening to his tone and his voice, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he started crying, and he's like, "It's just that I thought I was in real danger." Y'all, I whipped that truck. My husband almost had to file an insurance claim.
Yeah.
I put that truck over so fast.
yes.
And I hopped out and I got in the passenger seat and I wrapped him in my arms and I said, "Baby, just cry." And I explained to him, listen, I told him everything that he needed to hear to make him feel better
Yes.
and to also understand, listen, did you forget when I told you I'll be on it?
Yeah.
Look.
I'll be on it.
I'm
boy,
right.
I dropped that boy off the next morning. All he saw was that truck flip right back into the parking
Yep.
lot.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because I got to go in here and talk to
Boy,
somebody.
and raise some hell.
Y'all finna have another lockdown.
Yeah,
Look.
because it's about to be, and we all gonna be up
Playing
here
with these
today.
damn kids. Okay.
I think that's it
That's
for today.
it. Yeah,
we're gonna keep
that's
it light.
it.
We
We gonna
did a
keep
whole lot of interview talking.
Yes, and it was great.
It
This
is
was
good. It flowed.
We learned so much about you.
I liked it.
I'm so glad we got to sit down with you. Like, I think the first time meeting you was at the Culture Fest
Yes.
that they have here, and I'm so glad we finally got to sit down and talk with you and learn about you and learn everything you're doing. Where can they find you?
So on Instagram, you can go to AK's Closet Las Vegas. That's for all of my community stuff. If you want to see like comedy and where I'm at comedy wise, AK the Joke Teller. Just simply AK the Joke Teller. Nothing strange about it. And my OnlyFans is Lady AK, I think.
Yeah.
My TikTok, I don't really post a lot there, but it's Lady A to the K. And then on Facebook, it's AK McMorris. Facebook won't let me change it. I cannot change it. It won't let me change it because people try to use that as my name, and I'm like, okay, that's my maiden name. Like none of my information actually says that, and Facebook won't let me change it. So that's just what it is. But that's what they can find me.
And when y'all book her, y'all ask her for a picture. Y'all ask her for a professional picture.
Do not go and take pictures off of my doggone social media. I have professional headshots. But that's not just me. Ask any artist, how do you want your name to appear? Exactly. And can you send me over 2 headshots? Ask for 2. That way you can have your option to play around with it. But listen, y'all can keep bringing it back. Y'all remember on Goodfellas? When
I don't watch them. Not you stop. Not you stop when I said I ain't
came back over here. You remember the part on Goodfellas when he told them don't buy nothing with this money? They all showed to the here, bring it back. Bring it back where you got it from. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. You send me a flyer with a selfie on it, bring it back. Bring it back. You're gonna have to bring it back. Do not circulate.
I know that's right. All right, man. So we out of here. We thank y'all for listening. We thank y'all for coming spending some time with us. Make the royal flush. It's actually pretty good. AK said omit the cranberry juice, and we're gonna try that.
I said substitute.
Yeah, with pineapple juice. I got some pineapple juice.
Okay. So buy a hoodie, buy a t-shirt, follow us, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Buy a hoodie again. Sell it. We gotta sell stuff. Hey, we out. Peace.